So let's go out of here. We'll close here. Okay, so the bank deposits, where you're going to do your bank deposits. And see how now once you save it, it shows out here?
Yes.
So to always do a new one, you just click on New.
Okay.
You're going to choose your bank.
Okay.
You're going to choose your vendor or who you're payable, you know.
Right.
If you just type in the first couple 3 letters, it'll drop down everything, and then you can choose what you want.
Okay.
Description, if you want to put a description in, you can. Then you go down here, you're going to select your whatever GL it was you wanted to hit,
Okay.
and then the amount of your deposit.
Okay.
And hit enter, and it'll fill it in up here. And then you just hit, you can either hit save or post. I suggest just post. It makes it simpler. Then you don't have to go back and post it later.
Okay.
If there's a problem, you're going to hit unpost, and you can do any fixes that you want to fix.
Okay.
And hit enter again, and then just hit post again, and it'll post it then.
Okay.
Once again, like I said, you want to see your recap. This shows you the GL accounts it's going to make at that time. And then once you're done, you can just hit close, and then see how it shows you there's your bank deposit.
Okay.
See how it shows you over here that it's posted.
Okay.
Okay. And I think, yeah, so that'll show you that. Another feature up here is if you want to see what, like let's say, you know, you have a couple of transactions on here and you want to see what that's made up of, you could click on it and just hit open, and it'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
Okay. The export button, you'll see that on a lot of the screens, and you can always export it to Excel, a PDF, or a text file if you want to, on some of them if you need to. Okay, bank transaction is if like you have a service charge from the bank, or you have a bad check or something that you have to write off, you know, anything that hits the bank account that, or for your bank reconciliation that you need to get off.
Oh, so use that instead of entering it through other like we use that I currently do.
Correct.
I gotta write that down too. Okay.
Yep. So you're going to use, instead of, yes, you're going to do bank transactions will be like for your bank fees. And once again, it's pretty much the same screen you had before. You can put up here like service charge. And then you can go down here and you can select service charge GL.
Because also we have some like lease expenses that the bank automatically draws on the beginning of the month. I would enter them here, not
correct.
Not on the bank deposits should strictly be deposits or EFTs that have come into our account.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
do you have do you know what your service charge? Oh, here it is. Service charges.
Yeah, it's 60112-0.
Oh.
Or yeah, I don't use that one now.
I'll just stick it in here. Who cares, really?
Yeah.
And let's say your service charges.
Okay.
And then, you know, whichever way it is. So, like, let's say it's $15.69 or whatever. And then it'll go ahead and it'll put the credit up there. And once again, you're just going to post it. And then you can unpost it if you have to.
Okay.
And like say it's not what you really wanted. And remember how you used to have to void them? Now you can just hit delete.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to delete it? And it's gone. And you can just start over again.
Okay, now question. Bank deposits are going to definitely be a debit into the cash. Bank transactions are always going to be a credit?
Credit.
Is it possible for them to...
Go ahead.
So I need to remember that bank transactions are strictly credits. You can't put a debit in there, right?
Yes, you can. You can in bank transactions. You can go either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right here. So you can put
but it's mainly
whichever
credit.
field you put it in.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. And like I said, if you do one and you're not sure if that's correct, hit the recap,
Yeah.
and it'll show you what it's making. If that's not right, just go back down here and fix it.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions on that screen?
No, I'm just trying to write as fast as I can.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I can do it again too. If I didn't
No,
save
that's
that one.
okay.
Okay?
I'm good.
No. And you don't use bank. And so I said miscellaneous checks are like if you're writing a manual check to somebody, like they come in, you want to write them a check for a donation or something, and you just write it out real quick so you don't have to go. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
miscellaneous checks are what I refer
Oh,
to as a manual check.
Correct. Correct. And then you can just go in here and this just so that way it'll hit your bank account for you. And you're just going to go ahead and choose your bank.
Mm-hmm.
Type in your payee, you know.
Yeah. And it will know what check. It'll know the next check number to use, right?
Well, it says to be printed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I got that set up. I might have to go back in there and I'll show you guys how to do that too when I get down to banks. And then, like I said, you just choose whatever GL it is that goes to whatever expense.
Right.
You know.
Use donation 60130.
61. What'd you say?
60130. Yeah, I need to get it. Yeah, 0130. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
go.
Yeah, and then see, just come over here and tell it how much it is for.
Yeah.
Yep, then.
Okay.
And you can hit post.
But you have to put in, if it's a miscellaneous, because we have some people we don't set up as a vendor. So I can put in miscellaneous and it'll still give me an opportunity to put in the address. I see that. Okay.
Well, yeah, you can just put in, you're just going to put in the person's name there. Like, let's say,
Right.
you know, Bob Smith, and then you can put his address in here, yes.
Okay, good.
And then see, it gives you this, it'll give it a record number.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll give it a record number, but you'll still have the check number that corresponds to the check that was printed, correct?
I'm trying to, you know what, let me just do that. Another thing too, like let's say you want to go look at something, but you didn't want to really get out of the screen. If you hit this button here,
yeah,
it throws it up here.
Oh, okay.
Gives you a tab, and then you can come back to it.
Okay. And
later.
the reason I ask that is because I got to make sure that the check number is what's going to the checkbook, because when I go to do the check reconciliation, it's going to be by check number at the bank.
Yeah,
it's not going to be by record number.
This is where you go to set up your bank, your check numbers. And let's say
that's all going to come over in the conversion, isn't it?
No, I think we're going to have to set these up because remember how you, before it just kept rolling the numbers, you know, you'll have to get it started over here. So your start number, like let's say that's your ending number, and that's your start number, and then your next number, we're going to have to make that like a, your ending number, like let's say you have like a book of checks, you know how you get like a book of checks in your own, you got like 50 checks. This is where you're going to set this up at. So I'll just say we have your ending, it didn't move where I wanted it to. 6,500. Let's just say that's your ending number. And we'll say your next check number is 3. And then we'll hit create. Then it should start with that next check number. You can only generate, well, I didn't generate more than that, so I don't understand. Okay. 5,999. Okay, was that like that better? Apparently it did.
No, I didn't.
I'm not generating. You can only generate 10,000 checks at a time, so do I have to change this is what they're talking about?
I can tell you when it comes time to set this up, I'm going to need somebody.
I don't know why.
'Cause I'm not going to be able to figure that out myself.
Ending check number 34700. Let's try that.
I don't understand why you have to put in an ending check number. I mean, it should automatically do what it does now. It knows the last check number you used, so when you go to type the next one, it knows what number it should be. I know you didn't program this, Sherry.
I agree with you, but I don't know why this is not doing this. This is irritating me now. I'm going to get mad.
Yeah.
Imagine me getting mad.
Now, one thing I asked Greg the other day, I told him, I said, you know how in the, sometimes when they void a check after the month is closed, you know how we get that funky thing where it changes the beginning checkbook balance?
Yes, that should not do that anymore.
That's what he told me. Because you're the only one who ever was able to figure that out and get me right with that. And I want to make sure that doesn't keep happening. I mean, it only happens once in a blue moon anyway, but.
Yeah, this should not, no, it should not do that anymore. Let's start
Wonderful.
with 3,
Okay.
2. I think there's too many numbers. Maybe that's my problem. I don't understand why this is doing this. Okay, let's exit.
Well, at any rate, yeah.
Anyway, this is where we're going to change it, but I got to have a check number in there. It's not going to let me go.
Right.
So let's figure this out. Well, now it, okay, ending check number, next check number.
But once this is set up, I don't have to go in there every time.
No, once it's done, it should be, you know.
Yeah.
So you could, your next check number, but see, you should be able to set that to, like, let's say if you wanted to set it to 999999, so you never have to do it again. Because if you don't change that to be that, it'll be there forever. But for some reason, it is telling me I can't create more than 10,000 checks. I don't know what that means.
You have to find out from the
should
gentleman
let me.
Yeah.
There's 10,000 right there. So let's do this. 499. That's less than 10,000. And I'm still getting it. Anyway, that's where we have to change it at. So I don't know.
Okay.
But I would have thought, now it makes me wonder.
Well, you know, they asked us about those accounts, and I still see where they have Bank 05 and Bank 09. We don't need them anymore, and we told them that.
Well, it's going to, whatever setting over
they
there.
Convert.
Yep. And then you can go in and you can make them inactive, and then they'll be gone.
Okay. That works.
Okay.
Mhm.
Remember before how you could go in and run your check register? Here's the same thing here. It should just bring it up.
Oh, good.
And like, let's say if you're at this one and you looked at it, now you can filter. Like, let's say you wanted to look for a certain check number, you can do that. If you got a check date,
good.
You can run it by payee.
Oh, good.
You know the
because
dollar amount.
Because before I had to just scroll up and down.
I know.
This is
Wasn't that
nice.
Mm-hmm. I knew you'd
like
that.
Betsy, there's something positive.
Also, here you can export it to Excel if you wanted to. Oops. If you're on the screen and you want to go right to your bank reconciliation, you can do it here. You just click on it and it'll take you right over there. Now you're going to like this screen, Cheryl. Look, your checks are over here, your deposits are over here.
Wow.
Remember how before the deposits were right at the very end? There you go.
Well, no, they're not at the very end. I mean, when I go to do bank rec, I have to go line by line because they're intermingled. Yeah. So
now everything. That's right. Yeah. Okay. And then.
Yeah.
So we can get out of there. So let's close there. So anyway, that's the check register.
Okay. And that's under bank reconciliation.
Yep.
Okay.
And once again, you can go just to the bank reconciliation, like let's say choose whatever bank one you want to do.
Right.
You know. Then you can put in the date that you want to do. So let's say you're doing the end of May. Do you do yours just monthly or do you do yours weekly?
Monthly.
Or daily? Yeah.
monthly.
Okay. And then you're going to take your bank, and when we get ready to convert you, we'll have to definitely make sure that your GL matches with the checkbook balance that's in the, in the origin side underneath the, underneath the checkbook maintenance screen, how it has that balance. We'll have to make sure that the GL balances with that before we do it, because we want it to come over and be 0. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to, do like you normally do. You see your bank statement, put that balance in here, and then when you start checking, then these are going to start clearing.
Okay.
And the same with over here. And then when you get done, you want to pray that this balances, and this should be 0 down here, but these should, everything should be the same. And then once you get ready to reconcile, if it's not in balance and you hit reconcile, it's not going to reconcile it.
Right.
But
if you need to stop for the day and come back to it, it'll keep everything you clicked, right?
You betcha. Yep, right where you were at. Yep. Yes.
Good.
Instead of having to go back and redo everything. So.
Right. That is an improvement.
So then there's where you can print. This right here, if you hit search, it's going to show you, the ones that you've done in the last time you did a bank reconciliation.
Oh, okay. So it dates it when you did it?
Yep.
Now, when you say that, so that date reconciled, is the physical date that you did it, or is it for the period date? In other words, when I go to do June, it'll be month ending June 30th, but if I don't do it till July 6th, will it tell me the date that I did it as July 6th, or will it say date reconciled 6/30?
Date reconciled 6/30, because that's the date that you're going to choose. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But remember how in Origin you couldn't go back and pull up an old one? You had to print it, or it wouldn't be there without having to go in and. This is just going to have them all listed, so then you can go down and pick the one you want and print it. They're going to be out there.
I like that.
Safe, okay? So yes, that'll be nice. So so we have some positives here. Yay.
I was going to say, we do have some improvement here. This is good.
And once again, the banks, it just lists all your banks.
Okay.
What'd you say? This one? Which ones are the ones you don't use anymore?
I don't. Well, I think the second one with it says CAF Cafe. That one I don't think we use anymore.
I think.
Yeah, we don't use that one anymore.
Okay. A second, let me go here. So I think here, this just gives you a list of your banks. But this one here, if we go in here, I think this is where we can make it.
Where it says bank accounts. Yeah, the 5 and the 9 we can like put inactive.
I want to say there's a button somewhere.
There it is.
Where is it? You see it?
Well, it says checkbook 05.
Yeah, I was trying to find. I thought there was a place. I don't want to delete the bank, but I don't want to make it active. I wonder if it's still just going to be on there. Oh, active right here. Duh. I knew it had to be somewhere. And then we'll just hit save. I didn't generate checks, but okay, whatever. Let's go out here. And then see, it should now when you go, to go in here now to look at bank deposits, and you hit new, and then we hit this, it shouldn't be on your list. See how it's gone?
I see that. Okay. Okay. So, that's good.
So we can. There was a place, I just can't remember what button it was at. And we'll hit save. Yeah, so now you should only see those 3.
Okay.
And we'll skip that. Reports, here's where it just, I think it's just in the check register, I think is what it says. Yeah, it's just your actual, it says check register. And then this is, I always use the other one because this you can run. Maybe.
See, the only time I ever see a check register is when we do the payables on Tuesday and we do the run, and then it prints off all the checks, for the week, so to speak, up onto that point. And but this enables me to go in and pull an actual register if I need to.
Yes, but then that's the one that you can run by, that asks you for some reason, I don't know why that is not pulling up. I would go in here though, underneath this bank register, like you said, after you printed your checks.
Right.
And then you can go in here, like I said before, and you can do, like, let's say you want to do date.
Right.
Check date, so you want to do it between, like, let's just say June 1st through June 3rd. That'd be the first week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then it should only list, I probably should have picked a month that you guys have checks out here. How about, let's do this through March the 11th. That's only going to show you the checks.
Okay.
I forgot to show you this too. Here, like let's say you wanted to see the bottom, you can hit ascending and it'll start you from 311 through 31.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can do that. You can do that on your check numbers also.
Right. Gives you a lot of different sorts.
If you get these up here and you want to filter, like let's say you know it's in here somewhere, so let's say you just want to like find this number real fast. You know the check number, it should find it. Maybe I flip my numbers. Let's do like 7242, so let's do filter. It's not going to bring it up. Record contains. It is the record, right? Oh, I had to put in the check number. That's why. Columns, like let's say over here, there's columns that you don't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
You can always hide those columns. You click. Bring it down again. Come on, where are you at? Yeah, if you like click this, it'll take off the check number and it'll bring it back. See how it went away when I clicked on it?
Mm-hmm.
I can get it to, let's see, clear transaction, if you didn't want to see the memos.
Okay. And
then you can save that. And once you go to get out of it, some of them you can save it and you can put your name on there. This one I won't let you save it that way, but there's some screens that you can. And then every time you go in there, it'll only show what you want to see. That way you don't have to do it only once.
Oh, okay.
What else? Is that anything else on the screen? Like I said, once again, you can export it to Excel if you want to. Is there anything I'm missing that you want to ask about, or?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
Some of the, I mean, it's a good overview, but until we really start using it, and
yeah.
you know, then it'll make more sense, and it'll probably flow a little bit better after a couple of weeks. So.
Do you have access to the TE company, right? That you can go in here and actually play on this one and do?
Yes, I just have to have time to do that.
Yeah, I understand that.
No.
Here's that check.
What? What'd you say, Betsy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A question on that test environment. Something I learned yesterday that might be helpful for prior to converting, Cheryl, would be a list of tasks. Maybe, I don't know if you develop those or if Sherry gives those to you and say, before we convert to go live, I'd like you to go into the test environment and do these following tasks and let me know if you have any problems. That way we can get ahead of any issues in case there are some, and you're not sitting there trying to get something done in a crunch and realize, oops, we didn't realize that this was going to happen when we converted. So does that make sense to you, Sherry? And if so, who
yeah, what I suggest somebody does is they just need to sit down and they need to go in here and pretend they're doing their daily work, and they need to do every step that they normally do.
That makes sense.
You know, like go in, put in your, put in your vouchers, and then you want to save your vouchers, then you want to pay your vouchers, and then we'll go and actually print, and everything like that, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what do you think, in terms of conversion, Cheryl, I know we have to get GL done first, and that will be after Jerry finishes his year end. Would you like to see this done after wheat harvest and before fall harvest, or after fall harvest, based on what you see and what everybody else has to do within the system?
You know, Betsy, I don't know what to say. For me personally, I would not have a problem going this route before the fall harvest, but I don't know if Jan could handle it.
Okay.
So she would be the better person to add. And see, Tommy's going to have to also go in this way to enter bank deposits. And I'm kind of wanting that to be as far out as possible because I'm dreading that day. So
you going to train Tommy on that, or do you want Sherry?
I'm not. I told him yesterday, I'll quit first. You laugh at me, but I'm sorry. The man can't even do the job now that he's had for 11 years. I am not going to be responsible for training him on this new I-21.
So he has how many functions within the system that we're reviewing today, Cheryl? You just said he had one, right?
Just that,
Sherry,
just the bank deposits.
Just the bank deposits, because otherwise, yep. Sherry, he's doing the order edits and the payments from the store each day.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that through ag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So if we're looking
on this screen, which is kind of nice, I'm going to drop this up here. Betsy, we can go in, and if all you want him to see in this cash management is bank deposits, that's all. We can make it, or you guys can make it so that's all he sees. That's all he'll have
going to have to be.
Change the role to bank deposit. Is that the only thing he has access to in the whole I-21, Cheryl? Or is there other?
He's going to have to be an ag for doing the order,
right.
Order edit.
But see, up here,
for right now, for I-21, that's all he would have to have access for. But my concern is you're going to have him looking at two different screens. You're going to have him looking at Origin for half of his work, and then when he goes to enter it in CheckWriter, he's going to be in I-21. And I'm not sure that it's...
No, he will be on the screen at all times. Everybody will be on a screen that looks just like this. Down here, he goes in here. And when he goes in here and does his inner orders, he'll do it from this screen. See? But he will still be in I-21. You just won't go on that other screen anymore.
So,
well, whenever that takes place, I don't know, Betsy, that's not my call. You're going to have to ask somebody else.
Well, a couple questions on that, since we're on the topic of the user training session. I'm looking on my calendar, Sherry. I'm not sure why I can't find it, but it's probably because I just didn't put it in there. What's our date for the user training session? Do we have that?
Sorry, you cut out there.
What is our date for the user training session?
I don't do that, so I don't know. Did you talk to Cody? Does he usually shows you how to do the user training?
Cody? Well, I guess we have, make sure I've got this right. So we've got purchasing and cash management today. The idea of that was just going to be Cheryl. But then we have a need for just the people who are, I guess, mostly purchasing to have a session as well. I thought that was you, because I thought maybe because I don't have a second session.
I do cash management and purchasing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I do. Yes.
Well, when I say user, I mean that's what I mean. I mean a second session after today, strictly to walk.
Oh, for the users themselves. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like a user session, like how to set up users.
No.
We're talking about the actual users. Yes. That's up to you. Whenever you want me to do that, that's fine.
So,
and Jan is going to have to know how to do that because she...
Right, because then I'll have, and then on the user session, I'll have what, Tom and Jan in that one?
Well, Tommy doesn't do anything with the purchases. It's just Jan or myself.
But he'll just need the cash amount. Tommy will just need the bank deposits is all he'll
Correct.
do.
Correct.
Okay, and then Jan, what does Jan do? Does she do all purchasing also?
I enter all the invoices, but Jan, she runs the checks on
She does
Tuesdays.
the check processing, right?
Yeah,
So we'll have to
when
show
we
her
do
that.
select payments, Jan
Mhm.
does that. Or
Right,
sometimes
okay.
she might have to do what I call a manual check or miscellaneous check. In my absence, she would have to do that.
Okay.
So it's just
Okay.
her and I.
Okay.
Now, the other people who write checks are Rhonda and Robin, but that's for grain season. That's for the grain checks, and that's through
That'll be on the
ag.
grain side, and they'll show
Yeah, on
them
the
how to
grain
do
side.
that in grain.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
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 So
Yeah.
Just so I make sure, when you say you're going to do that in grain, is that going to be under the one that does inventory grain and ag?
Yes.
are they going to try and wait until after fall harvest for that?
The idea right now is the conversion is going to happen after fall harvest, but we're actually going to sit them through the training sessions in that lull time in August so they can just start getting their heads wrapped around it, go through fall harvest with origin, and then flip it over. Because as the thinking there, as you said, Jan, nobody really is going to be paying attention to a whole lot of this stuff until they actually are forced to use it.
Have to get.
Right.
You're right. Yes. Correct.
I mean, I'll take advice. That's what Chad and I thought would be best. August is a little bit of downtime, just starting them to like be in it and thinking about it, using the dashboard, but using the dashboard with the origin modules, going through the training, and then going to harvest, getting that done, and then we flip over. And if that means we need some refresher, that's fine. Or if they need to go back and they have to look at the videos, that's fine. But it's a way they can stick their toe in the water a little bit before getting plunged in.
Okay.
But I guess I will need a date then from you, Sherry, for what I call the user session.
Okay. Whatever works for Jan and whatever works for Tommy, so it doesn't make a difference to me.
But then we don't need to put in there for Rhonda and Robin because that's going to be handled in another section.
That'd be handled in the other session. You got it. Yes, correct.
Right. For Jan and Tom,
Betsy, I'm going to leave it up to you to call Jan and
yep.
discuss that with her.
Well, and we're not going to, so I guess this brings me back to my last question. Since it sounds to me like if we convert this, the only people are going to be involved in the conversion in terms of Nagel employees are Cheryl, Jan, and Tom. Is that correct, Cheryl?
Correct.
All right, correct. So if that's the case, then we don't have to wait necessarily till fall harvest for this module to convert.
Correct.
And we could do, as soon as the GL comes over, we could probably do this at the same time.
We'd have to, the only thing I'm asking is that I have to make sure that your checkbook matches the GL at that time. So we do GL first, and then I think then then we'd have to go in and turn on the AP and the cash management. But like I said, we got to make sure that that balances first.
And you do manage that process?
Yes, yes, I could work with whoever does the bank rec, and we can do that together. Yes.
So when GL converts, somebody's going to ping you, and then you're going to go in and start pecking around and making sure it all works out, and then you'll let us know when you're ready. We're ready for conversion.
So you guys will tell me when you're ready. I prefer that they at least work on the cash management and the purchasing area for at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
That way they've got some kind of, they got their familiarity around, how the system works. So, and then
maybe tentatively then think about the 3rd or the 4th week in July, or maybe the first week in August.
How about the first week in August? That way when do you do your bank reconciliation, Cheryl?
I try and do it like a couple of days after the month ends. So in other words,
I would say maybe the first.
Well, the first is when we do our statements, so I don't do anything other than
Correct.
Statements that day. But I'm looking at maybe August 3rd is to get the bank rec done for for
Okay.
the main cash account. I can't do payroll until the following week because I don't get it.
Mhm.
But see, the way I do bank rec for the main account is I pull down the daily bank report each day, and that way I know what checks have cleared and what deposits have been, I make sure that they match up. I make sure the deposits match up with what's in the check writer. And then I have my checks that are cleared. So at the end of the month, like I said, on that Wednesday, I sit here with those daily, and I do the bank rec off of the daily reports. I don't wait for the statement to come in because that usually don't come in till the 10th or 11th of the month.
Mhm.
And that
So
way, if I can,
you could technically balance anytime because you could balance daily.
I suppose I could. Yeah.
Or do it weekly or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever you get one that you're ready, yeah. Once you do your bank rec and you get that done, then we can, if you want to call me like that first week in August, when you get your bank rec done, Cheryl, and then we can make sure that it balances, and we can set up a day to go ahead, and we'll get it turned on for you, and then you just start using the I-21 instead of the AP side. Now, you guys don't do, according to this, am I correct, you don't do purchase orders,
No.
enter inventory receipts and all that stuff, so that's good. So
that'll
make it real easy.
Yeah, I don't know how they do the inventory receipts at the store, but we do not do purchase orders through the system. Really, our purchase orders are just, we have a paper purchase order. They'll call up and say, hey, I need to go to ED Supply. Give me a number. Well, I don't know what they're buying. I don't know the unit price. I don't know how many. I don't know. So, I mean, it's really kind of a wasted effort because you're not matching up anything to make sure that you got charged right in the first place when it comes in. You see what I'm saying?
Well, but you can do that in the system.
You can, but then you're going to have somebody who's going to have to, enter every, they got to enter every unit and what it is and the cost of the unit and stuff. And the way they're doing it now, Chip Nagel calls up. He's not going to do that. He's like, okay, I need a PO for Mexican Grace. So that's why I say, now, whether or not in the future that is something that they want to start instituting, at least with I-21, we'll have that availability.
Right, and if you wait until the inventory I-21's done, it'll be a lot easier too. So,
okay.
Because once you put it in the system, it's there. Whereas now you put it in, you edit and post it, and then once you get your actual invoice from the company, then you come over and then you do a receipt verify.
Right.
So if you're not doing that now, then we won't have to worry about that. So we're good there. So okay.
Yeah. Hey, Sherry, have you ever heard of SAP?
No.
It's a computer program that's Windows based too. And I went through that 6 years ago with the company I used to work for, and they did do the purchase orders in the system. But they had to have a person, full-time staff, just to enter the purchase orders. So and I was wondering if it was if there was a similarity.
That sounds like the same thing that you could do in here.
Okay. Well, let's move onward and upward.
In terms of process, then, between now and the first week of August, Cheryl, you will play around in the test environment.
I will.
And if you have questions, you'll go ahead and get to Sherry just through the help ticket desk. Is that the way to do it, Sherry?
Yeah. Or shoot me an email. Yep.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
And then and then when we get the GL converted, you'll be prompted on that. And we'll just, maybe the week before we're scheduled to convert, we'll just touch base with you and make sure we've got everything lined up.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll put it on my calendar too, that the first week of August to convert you guys to the cash management AP. That'll remind me to call you guys if I haven't heard from you.
And based on that, it's from what you're saying, since it's a finite task, can we just get you to get on the line with Tommy and show him about bank deposits, Sherry?
that's what I was going to say. Would that be simplest? It wouldn't take very long because that's what I think he's going to be able to see anyway.
Yeah, let's do that. And if we do that, let's just grab a date right now, and I'm going to put it on the training calendar. So let's do it as close as we can to conversion.
Okay. So you want to do it like the last week of July?
That's fine. Cheryl, when is Tom in the office?
I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I know that he's off tomorrow and Friday and Monday because he's going to a wedding, but, you know,
well, I just mean standard, if he's assuming he's not on vacation.
I mean, he's usually in the office from 8:30 to about 10:30. Sometimes it's more like 9 to 11, but if he has a doctor's appointment or if he wants to take his car for tires or if he wants to go pick up his dry cleaning, he'll just come and go however.
We're going to get a date, so I'll track that. So we're going to call that, give me a date that week prior, Sherry. And let's just
do you want to do,
at 10
well,
o'clock.
how about we do like July, how about we do July the 26th? That's a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it like at 9 a.m.
Okay. And that's going to be bank deposits.
That'll be just, that's all he does is bank deposits. Yep.
Right.
That's going to be Tom. And if you want to send me a go-to meeting, Tom does have the training page bookmarked on his desktop. So if you send me that, link, I'll get it on here, and that way he can just.
Well, can I just call him and just remote into his computer and just get on there with him?
Yep.
Does that work?
Yep.
So we don't have to worry about doing the go-to meeting? Okay.
Yep. Yep. I'll note that on the training calendar. And
yep, we'll just do remote. Okay.
Yep.
You probably have to get his. You probably have to get that I-21 icon set up on his desktop too.
No, the I-21, all we have to, just as long as he's got Google Chrome on his computer, we're fine.
I think he only has Internet Explorer. Is that correct?
Yeah, he does. He only
Okay, we'll have to get Google then downloaded on his computer because it won't work. It works only on Google on Google Chrome.
Yeah.
So how do you want us to manage that, or is that something your tech support would do?
You guys can do that. You just go on to Google, bring it up, and download it, and it'll just download on there. That's all we're going to do. Stupid for us to charge you to do that. So.
Yep.
I mean, we'll charge you if you want us to, but we don't have to.
Carol, do you want to do that like you did the other day, or you're going to yell at me if I tell you to do that?
You know, you're really pushing it, Betsy.
I know.
You are really pushing it.
For me to drive 40 minutes to go sit at Tommy's desk and do that doesn't seem very efficient, is my point.
I still haven't gotten my pedicure. Okay. Look, let me get through this training, and
Okay.
I've got the next couple days where I've got to do his work for him anyway, but I've got payroll tomorrow on top of it. So how about Friday afternoon, Betsy? You call me and you know, huh?
I'll call you and bug you about it. That would be fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done,
Okay.
Sherry. Okay.
Okay, so we can.
Now, do we have to hit purchases today?
Yes.
Quickly. Okay.
Okay. Here, and that's, once again, this is how you can do that report. There's different fields if you want to run that report by. If all you wanted to see was a certain date, you could to and from. It's pretty much just like when you're searching.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the check register. Okay. So we'll
Okay.
get out of there. Yeah, and then we'll go down to purchasing. Purchasing, like I said, once again, that's where it's more or less your payables. Okay.
Okay.
You don't use purchase orders. That has nothing to do with you guys.
Okay.
The voucher batch entry, you can go in, you can enter a bunch of them all at one time, but it can only go to one vendor and one GL. I mean, you can have not one vendor. If you have like a bunch of vendors that use the same GL, you can go in and do a batch entry here.
Oh, okay. I'm better off to just do the
do it
vouchers.
separately.
Yeah,
Most of them do.
yeah.
Yep, just do vouchers. Okay. And get out of there. No, I don't.
And you know, the good thing is, well, it's not really good, but yesterday things were so slow and it was awful. So I only keyed in the invoices that had to be paid yesterday. So I've got a stack here that need to be entered. So maybe this afternoon I'll play around in the test environment
Okay.
with them.
So once again, to put vouchers in, you're just going to hit new.
Okay.
Okay, and it should come up and say voucher. What's the name of one of your vendors?
Cintas, Cintas.
So it says CIN.
EAS.
Yeah, oh, there it was. So if you wait a minute, it'll bring up, then just double click on it, it'll be there. Invoice number is like you normally do, whatever that is. Your invoice date, you can pick any date you want. You know, like if it comes in, it's the 20th, and just say okay. Due on receipt, that's all done. All that stuff should all be filled in for you. We'll have it set up that your AP account doesn't look like it's set up. I'll get that set up in the location maintenance so it automatically defaults for you.
Okay.
Now,
and then the due date, I can set it for the Tuesday I want it to be paid.
Yep, you can set that like let's say next Tuesday.
Because do we still have to go in and select payments on the Tuesday? Now we currently do. We go in to select payments and click on.
No, I'll show you how to do that. Nope, I'll show you how that goes. I know what you're saying. You're talking about when you did your select payables, go in and click all the ones that you want to pay. That's on the pay voucher screen. I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
But you can still say it's due on that date, and then we can, you know, you can filter by that.
Okay.
Ag's not done yet, so you don't have to, remember how you usually have you put in item numbers? Well, there is no item numbers because it's not done yet. So you're just going to go over here.
I don't put in item numbers.
Oh, you just put in the amount now? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just go over here, put in the cost, like let's say it's $125.97.
I put in the invoice amount.
Okay, that's all you're going to put in. And then if you have a GL account that it's already set up for underneath the vendor maintenance, it's going to pull that one for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then here's where it says your subtotal and amounts due.
Okay.
That's all you
now
need.
what happens like on that invoice, I usually have to split it between two different account numbers.
Then you could choose the one that you want, put in a certain amount there, go
so
down to your next line.
Okay.
Do this. And then let's put in over here like it's 76. Then you just go down here, over here to your GL number.
Okay.
Go over here. Let's choose whatever one you want to use.
Right. 660.
Yeah. So like let's say you wanted to.
Yeah, that's fine. Just hit one of them.
And then hit that. And then say that, and then just hit enter, and then it'll do that. Yep.
Okay.
I'm just going to hit those GLs. And then you're just going to go ahead and hit post.
Okay.
And it's posted. And you're done. If it say something's not right, you can unpost it, once I said. Recap, I'll show you the GLs it's going to hit. And let's say you wanted to pay it immediately. You could just click on pay, and it'll take you to the screen to pay it. Or if you're done, you're done. If you want to do your next one, then you'd hit new again. And go to your next, to stay on the same screen to enter in your next voucher.
Not to interrupt you, but in other words, if I had a vendor that I could have a discount if I hurried up and paid it today, so I would want to do a manual check form, I could enter him this way, and then I could hit pay. I could post it, and then I could hit pay, and I could pay just that invoice without having to go to miscellaneous check.
Correct. You can pay that invoice immediately. Yep, it's going to take you right to the pay process screen. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, if you want to do another one, you just hit new and go on.
Right, and go on.
Just keep doing them and hit post.
So if I have 10 invoices, I'll be hitting new 10 times.
Yep.
And then when I'm finished, I can pull them up and look at them.
Right, and they're all right here.
Okay.
And you could, once again, you could go by voucher date. If you put in today's date, you know, filter it by just that date. That's all you're going to see is just those.
Now, do you have to edit and post these or no?
Nope. When you hit post, you're done. There's no editing and posting anymore.
There's no printout?
Nope. That's why I said if you want to, you know, that's when you're looking at it. If you think it's not right, that's why I said you can unpost it.
Okay. Okay.
If you wanna, like I said, you want to see all of them that you do for that day.
Right.
You can just go underneath the vouchers and I would filter, and you could say voucher date and then just run them all for today's date.
Okay.
And that'll show you, you know, or so like if you ran them from this date to this date.
And that will show me from the date when they were entered, not necessarily the invoice date.
It'll be the voucher date, your invoice
Right.
date. Yes, I would use your invoice date. Yep. And it'll show you all of them that you entered
I'm
in.
confused again. When I say the voucher date, is that the date that I entered them, or is that the invoice date that's on the invoice?
Whatever you put in, here, let me do this.
Because see, there's a difference. I mean, if I wanted to go in and say, hey, what invoices did I enter on June 21st?
That
I
would be
would
your
want
invoice date. If you
So
want
it
to run
wouldn't
that report.
So that report
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily be by the day that I entered them. It'd be by the what's on the invoices.
Correct. Whatever invoice date that you put them in as. And I just noticed something. See how it says invoice date here? When you go back over here. Oh, when you do a new,
Yeah, yeah.
it says invoice date, okay? But once you save it and go over here, it's called voucher date.
Okay. But that's not, I mean, when I have to enter the invoice number, I have to enter the date that's on that invoice, not necessarily the day that I'm putting it in.
Correct. So then you'd have to run it by invoice date, you know, or
Is there any way to show, because I mean, I could potentially have invoices from 3 different months that I'm entering on one day. If I want to see what work I did on that one day, is there any way to capture that?
no. I'm going to have to say no, because it's going to go by voucher date.
All right.
Yeah.
That's different.
But, yeah, because if you wanted to see a report that you did for the whole day that day, yeah, there is no way to run a report that way. No.
That's okay. I don't know that it would even come into play or be an issue, because the main thing you're looking at is if you're looking for a vendor history, you need to know was that invoice paid or not. So it's really irrelevant when it was entered in the system. I mean, it might be an odd chance once in a while you'd want to know, but it's not a deal breaker.
Okay.
Okay, so what's batch posting?
Both you know, instead of hitting post, if you hit save, that's how you could do it. If you want to see what you did for the whole day, just hit save, but then you got to turn around and post them, which is kind of a pain.
So in other words,
like
if you hit post when you enter it, then you don't have to go back in and do a batch posting.
Correct. If you hit save, then it's not posted. Then you would run that batch posting, you would see all of them. So there's how you can see your report now that I think about it.
That's really another step, though.
Then you're taking, yep, that's why I said I just hit post and you're done.
Okay.
Pay vouchers. This is going to list all your vouchers that your open payables, your vendors that are out there that need to be paid.
Okay. If you choose not to pay somebody this week, is this where you could click on it?
This is where you're going to pick and choose who you want to, who you
want
to
okay.
pay
This
and who you
is
don't
where
want to
you
pay.
pick and choose.
Yes, this is kind of like your select payable screen.
Okay. So your pay vouchers is the same as select payables.
Correct. Yes. And it's not there. I was going to say this page is not loading for some reason.
Okay.
And normally it has your vendor, then you would just click on it.
Right.
And then you would hit post. But I wished one would pop up so I could get it to do it. Because once you hit post, and then when you get out of here, so the screen's locked up for me and I don't know why. There it is. Oh man, I didn't wait long enough. See what happens when you're impatient, Cheryl. Okay. Now wait a minute again.
Okay, so if
Just
I
don't
come
have
on down here and I click all these that I want to pay, then I
Mhm.
hit post.
Yep. And then do. Second here. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go up here and pick your bank account, whichever bank you want it to come out of, and then
Oh,
your
okay.
payment method. If it's most of the time, it's just usually check. You
Right.
just choose check. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. That's what I get for being
That's all right. It's
impatient,
giving me a chance to make my notes.
Like I said, Cheryl, if you have any questions, just give me a call and I'll, we can run through it again real quick.
I
And,
know.
the screen that you're on at the time. Okay, I want to wait again, but I have to wait. There we go. So yeah, so you would just choose, and you see how these two are together. I mean, if you have like two
Right.
of them, it'll only write one check, but like you said, it'll do like it did before.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's
let's choose
good.
we'll choose this bank. And we'll
Yeah.
go over here and choose check. Okay?
Okay.
And then choose the ones that you want, and then just hit post.
Okay.
And then see, it's going to tell you that it posted successfully. And if it didn't, it's going to tell you it failed, and it's not. And then once you hit close, that vendor that failed on is still going to be out here for you.
Okay.
Most of the time it's
now, does this is not generating the checks though yet,
no,
right?
nope, not yet.
Okay.
No. Now, you can either hit process payments from this screen, and it takes you right to the process payments, or if you want to go look at the voucher detail that you just did, that you chose, it'll show you here.
Or you can go on process
right,
payments.
or you can go down there and hit process payments.
Yeah,
So if you
I
click
think
it from
that's
here,
what
it's going
I'll
to take you
do.
to this. This is going to hit you to the same screen. Now it's going to show you which
Okay.
checks that are ready to pay. Here's shows you what your next check number is.
Okay.
And all you have to do is hit preview.
Okay.
Not enough check numbers. See, it won't let me generate another check number.
Yeah. All right.
Let me drop this. Drop this. Let me try this one more time. Maybe I'm just being stupid, which wouldn't surprise me. Bank accounts. Open. Ending check number. Next check number.
I just want to make sure that I know when I have to put the checks in the printer, because I don't want them to start printing without the checks in there. Do you know, Sherry, is there a screen that comes up that, in other words, you have to click on OK for it to actually print the checks like we do now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It'll actually show you the checks. It's really weird. I'm going to eventually get a number in here. Oh, look, it's let me generate. Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited. Don't ask me what I just did. But I just generated checks for you. See?
Yeah, you did.
I did. We're getting out of
Don't
the
ask
screen.
me.
We did what we need. Don't ask me what I did, but there you go. Okay. Now,
all right.
you choose,
Okay, so we hit preview.
Yep, and we're going to choose the bank, and you're going to hit preview. Now it's going to generate your report, and this is different too. Remember how, when you viewed the checks, it would show you exactly what your check was going, what was going to print on your check.
Okay.
This shows you the actual check for each one. Maybe.
While you're waiting, can I put you on hold just for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
There. We're getting somewhere, Cheryl.
That's a good thing. because my
Then there's
stomach's
the
starting to
check.
growl. Okay.
And it shows you, exactly what your check's going to look like.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what they're going to, and then, let me get up here. And then if you go to your next one, and then your next
Okay,
one.
so you can look at each check.
Each one of them, make sure they're okay. And then once they're done, you're going to go ahead and hit your printer. And there's your checks again. You're going to go ahead and hit print. I'm going to change this so that way it doesn't print anywhere. We'll go ahead and make it a PDF, and we'll throw it out here on here. And then what this screen does, see how this, like, let's say, they printed. Remember how sometimes if the printer jams up and you got a check that didn't print? All you'd have to do is, like, let's say this check jammed up. Just click that and hit commit, and it's going to throw that check back out there to print again. Okay?
Okay.
If they're okay, just leave them alone and then just hit commit. Oops, I just forgot to check that one. That's okay. Are you sure you want to commit the failed checks? I'll say yes. And then that means now that those have been paid, and now see that one that I said didn't print is there, and then you can print it again if need be. Okay?
Yeah, this is so different that I'll have to
review
that.
This is different. Yeah, this is a little different.
Yeah, I'll have to review that again maybe.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay.
So you're good. So you hit process payments, choose the ones that you want, hit post, come in here and say process payments. They should all be listed here. And then you're just going to hit preview, let it generate its report. If it looks correct, you're just going to hit the printer. We'll go ahead and print the check. If the check prints and everything's okay, you just hit commit.
Okay. So in other words, when you say if the check prints, it's got to print on the screen first.
It's going to print. It's going to show you what it looks like there, and then when you hit, say I didn't want it to print anywhere, and then when you'll set it up to do it to an actual printer, and then it'll print just like it normally did before to a printer. Yeah.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
When you hit the print, this when that button comes up, you know how that came up here. Let me just say no.
Yeah. Can we go back? I'm sorry.
Yep. No, you're fine. No. Okay.
Okay. So in other words, so we did the view.
You're going to do the view. This is what the check is going to look like to print.
Right.
Then you're just going to go ahead and hit
print.
Hit the printer and
see.
And then your actual printer will be. It'll tell you here.
Right.
Then you're just going to hit print.
Okay.
And when you hit print, it's going to start printing the checks out of that printer just like it used to.
Okay.
So when you hit print, and then I would just sit here and wait and let it print, which I forgot to go back and click that button again. And then once it's done, if they're all okay, you just hit commit.
Okay.
But I definitely wait until they're all done printing, because if the printer would jam and you'd have a couple checks you had to reprint, you just click on the ones that didn't print correctly. Remember how before you had to go in and void and all that stuff? Now you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but I haven't had to do that much, so that's why. Yeah, I haven't had to do that. So, okay. All right. We're good.
Okay. And that's it for that. Let's go down. Let's get out of here. Process payments. 1099s, you're going to be able to print those out of our system now. I suggest that we just go over that at the time you get ready to do your 1099s, because then it'll make more sense.
I was going to say, can we wait till the end of the year for that, please?
Yep.
So, okay.
Vendors, this is where your vendors are. This is where you're going to set up your new vendors.
Okay, so that's where you do, in what we call vendor maintenance now, it's just vendors. And that's where you can set up a new, I see the new button. Okay.
Yep, set up a new one, and then
or you can open one and modify it. And,
Okay. Yep, and then go to your different screens and things like that. So.
Okay.
And then.
Sounds good.
And then the reports are, remember the just reports you had before, your open payables, your vendor history. That's the same reports. They're right there. Just run them by dates.
Okay.
having a few issues with the open payables right now, but hopefully they'll be resolved before we get you updated, so they should be okay. So
That
I'll
would be
honest
nice.
with you. Yes. So
All right.
that's an overall of it. Does that? And like I said, Cheryl, if you have any questions when you're going through it, if you want to just shoot me an email with them, and then or call me, and
Yeah.
I'll
What
jump
is
on there
your
with you.
email address again, Sherry?
It's Sherry, SHERRI,
Mm-hmm.
and then a period, and my last name is T as in Tom,
Right.
HORP @irely.com.
You know, the only thing I might mention there, Cheryl, is if you send it through the help ticket desk, it goes.
I'll see it faster.
You'll see it.
Yeah,
faster,
I know.
And it'll log it in, so you don't, because you may start having like 4 or 5 different items out there, and you might,
Yeah.
you know,
I
oh,
understand.
I would. Anyways, I have no memory, so I think the help desk helps a lot.
All right. So we're done.
Okay.
We're
All right.
done.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Cheryl.
What?
First week in August, that is our plan to convert to cash management. We've got Tom set up for his bank deposit training. For Jan, real quick, I know she's off today, but I'll call her when she's back and get that same July 26th week, her to be trained. What are the pieces that she needs again, if you can tell me real quick?
Well, she
I'll
needs
just go through cash
Yeah, go ahead.
management and the purchasing, and I've got it on my list here, and then I'll just go through those with her.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that'd be good.
I'm going to have you, Sherry, why don't we just have, we've got the 26th. Jan is out Tuesday and Wednesday. Is that correct, Cheryl?
No, on Tuesday the 26th she'll be here, but she won't be here from the 27th on because they have a family reunion down south.
All right. So if why don't
So
we
that
just,
last week of July, you know, the 26th
that-
should be all right, but you might want to check with her, Betsy.
yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that doesn't work, just have Jan give me a date that will work for her, and I'll just, work it in that way.
Let's actually set it up for 9:30 on the 26th, and I will touch base with her. That way you've already got Tommy locked and loaded from 9 to 9:30, and then you can just go over to her. Is that okay with you, Sherry?
Okay, that'll work.
The only thing I'm going to hate you for is you train him on the 26th and then Jan isn't here for him to ask questions of. You know who he's going to ask those questions of.
What do you want me to do about that? Okay. What do you want me
All
to
right.
do?
You ladies have a great afternoon, okay?
Okay,
Thank
you too.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you later then.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye-bye.